Hi, I'm Ann, and welcome to Brain Candy, brought to you by The Candy Factory, a co-working and social club here in the heart of Lancaster. Today, I have the pleasure of having Lori of Ladies Start Your Engines on the show. Hi, Lori, welcome.
Thanks.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So Ladies Start Your Engines is my business, and I teach automotive classes for women. So a hands-on 2-hour class to give them information, prep them for taking their car into the dealership, feeling like they're not going to get ripped off, and giving them more confidence.
And you travel around the area doing these workshops?
I do. I actually travel around the United States.
Nice.
So any place somebody wants to hire me, I'm willing to go.
Excellent, great. You've done workshops too at the Candy Factory.
I have.
And today you're going to be talking about tips when you're taking your vehicle in for service, right? And we're going to start off with how to find a good shop.
Right. So one of the big things that people are concerned about is taking their car in and are they going to get ripped off, or is somebody going to try to sell them something they don't need. So I always recommend that you talk to your friends and family, co-workers, ask them where they're going, see what they think about the shops they're taking their vehicles to. Do they feel like the shops are being honest with them? Are they fairly priced? I think it's a much easier way to find a good shop rather than trying to look it up online and go and buy the 3-star credit or whatever it is. You know, people are going to tell you honestly what they think.
Right, so that personal referral is so key to finding a good shop.
It is.
Excellent. And the second tip is what to know before you go. Explain that.
So one of the things that you want to be aware of is if you're taking your vehicle in and you have a problem, try to have as much information about that problem as you can. When you go in, if it's a noise, when is it doing it? Is it doing it when you turn to the left or turn to the right? Are you having trouble starting the car? Is it happening when it's cold or when it's warm out? You know, is it something that happens you think only when it's raining or something like that? It's really hard for techs to try to guess what you think is wrong with the car if they're not sure. And if it's something that you feel is really kind of elusive and it's hard to pin down, don't be afraid to ask them to go for a ride with you. I used to do that at the dealership a lot when I worked there. I would like, let's just go for a ride and you point out the noise to me, because many times I take it out and I'd be like, what is that noise? And that's not even the one they were hearing.
Gotcha.
You know? So having all that information really helps them. And sometimes it's something that's so obscure that they may not find it. And just know that if it happens to you only once in a while, it may only happen to them once in a while, and it may not work when you go in the first time.
Gotcha. So maybe record it sometimes, or with your phone if it's happening.
Sure.
And just give them the information that they need.
Right.
Don't self-diagnose.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And you say ask questions.
Yeah, the big thing is when you go back for your car and they say, oh, you need this and this and this and this and this, and people are like, oh, okay, let me just pay this, you know. Ask questions. Ask them why they feel that it needs it. Sometimes they're just services that are coming due that are recommended, you know, for a certain time, like a coolant flush or those kind of things. Other times there are things that you really need. So the other thing I tell people is sometimes, you know, you get this list and you're so overwhelmed and, you know, they want you to make a decision, or they're calling you and they're like, we need to know, that tech's working on it. Don't let them get you flustered.
Gotcha.
Feel free to ask them to explain why they need to have these things done, and then maybe break it down. I can't afford to do all that right now, so what are the most important things that I should do right now? So if like coolant flush was on there and a brake job, well, probably your brake job is a little more important than the coolant flush, and that might be able to be pushed off for a couple weeks or even a month. The other thing that you can do is just say, well, you know what, let me think about it and I'll come back. And then be able to take that list home and kind of look it over. And I always say, you know, get out your owner's manual, look in the back, find out. There's a whole maintenance schedule in there. Look and see what the actual maintenance schedule is for those things that need to be done, and make sure that they're aligned with that, and that they're not just telling you a generic, like, oh, well, we do that every 3,000 miles, you know? So those are just really good things to ask when you go in, because they're going to look for things. That's what they're paid for. They're going to look for things that are safety issues. They're going to look for things that need to be done on a regular basis. And so they're going to give you those recommendations, but that doesn't mean that you have to always take them.
That's really good advice. I never really think about going and looking at the manual and looking at the service schedule. It's never crossed my mind, so thank you for that.
Well, the other thing too, real quick, people always think that they have to go back to the dealership when they buy a new car, and that's not true. If you do all your maintenance service and you keep all of your receipts and something should happen to the car, as long as you can produce those and say, well, I did have my oil changed every 7,500 miles or whatever it was recommended, that's enough. Usually the dealership is going to fix things like warranty repairs because that's coming right from the manufacturer. But don't be sucked into the idea that, oh, you can only come here to have your car work done. That's not true. So,
wow, it's great because I go to the dealer. Maybe I won't now.
I mean, I don't want to say that dealers are bad,
but you do feel somewhat like you should or need to if you have a newer car.
And sometimes they try to make you feel that way, and that's not necessarily the case.
Gotcha. Excellent. Now, you're a Candy Factory member. Tell us a little bit about your Candy Factory experience.
So I love it here because I'm obviously not always out teaching classes, and so the Candy Factory gives me an opportunity to not only do some of my work away from home, but to collaborate with other people. And it's kind of been fun to, meet some people and figure out how we can work together. And, I like to work with organizations that hire a lot of women because that's my focus. So it's great to connect with those people. And I just think it's a really great environment. I've had a good time. There's a lot of benefits to being here, like this media studio that we're using. So just a lot of good reasons to be here.
Excellent. Well, thank you. And fun fact, Lori likes to bake. So she is our resident baker and brings in good treats at least once a week for us. And we really, really appreciate that. So tell us, where can people find you online?
So you can find me at ladystartyourengines.com is my website. Lady Start Your Engines on Facebook and Lady Start Your Engines on Instagram. So you can follow me on any of those. Yeah,
really good information on the website as well. So definitely check that out. Thank you, Lori, for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
So to learn more about our members in the Candy Factory, be sure to check out coworkinginlancaster.com and tune in next time.